I'm going now. Huh? I'm going with Steve's lot.
You can't cross at the moment, mate. If you want to go down, you've got to go down and under, alright?
So good afternoon or good morning all, my name is Wendell Daniel and I do hope you can hear me, and welcome to StreetMic, and we are coming to you live and direct from WhiteHall, where we are getting ready for Prime Minister's questions, and I do believe in a few moments the Prime Minister will be hopefully going by at this location. I hope you can hear me, and the Prime Minister will be leaving Downing Street very soon, and so let me know. And I can see the outriders now. Can you hear me? Big up, big up, big up, big up, big up, big up, big up. And I can see, yes, I can hear you. And I've got to cross the road quick because here's the outriders. Here's the outriders just going by. So here's the Prime Minister's outriders. So here they are now. So this is the Prime Minister's vehicles. So this is what happens. So this is live and direct, this is real. So this is the Prime Minister just going past StreetMic now, and they're heading towards the Prime Minister, making his way to Downing Street. Big up, big up, big up. And did you hear Keir Starmer say, big up StreetMic? I definitely heard him say, big up StreetMic. So this is what it's like, live and direct from outside of Downing Street. And the old Bill said to me I wasn't permitted to do what I needed to do, but I still got my footage. F-U-C-K them. So that's what it's like down here at the Houses of Parliament. So we're told we can't go by. So he's going to get nicked if he doesn't move, because there's still a security cordon in position around the Prime Minister, and the officer so he's been told he can't go anywhere. Big up. So this is what it's like down here at Westminster. You follow the rules. If you don't follow the rules, the old Bill. Excuse me, my darling, last time I saw you, it was down in Birmingham, and I also saw you at Liverpool.
Yeah.
So where's the boss Steve today?
Oh, he's having some time off somewhere else out of the country.
Oh, so he's on holiday, is he?
Kind of, sorting out some bits and pieces, yeah.
All right then. So how was it for you? And as you know, I'm using a GoPro today. I don't normally go via GoPro, but yeah. But how's it for you to be out here on your own without Steve Bray today?
Well, we've got Gareth, and I'm very much now a kind of street journalist, if you can call it. I've got an experience of nearly, 2.5 years of doing street work. So I'm just managing and looking at opportunities and situations. So yeah.
How would you describe when you was down at Birmingham last week and also Liverpool the week prior? How was that for you?
Well, it was a little bit disappointing compared to the previous years. I was looking at the footage of conferences in the years before. I remember the Labour conference 2021 in Brighton.
You got good memory, yeah?
Oh yeah, I remember there was a time when the Labour MPs were coming out to talk to Sodom and saying they wanted to rejoin. And then in 2022, there was a bit of a shift, because Keir Starmer actually kind of took control of the party, and they started interacting less and less. What I found frustrating this year was the lack of access to the conference and to the conference attendees, because we were kind of, everything was fenced up. We really couldn't see that much.
But that's called security. What's wrong with implementing tight security controls to prevent rabble-rousers like you and Steve from disrupting the events?
I think there are more other kind of protests. I won't mention it, but as I said, I think the security was excessive. I think they're probably worried about terroristic attacks given the current situation. So, but from a kind of activist or more like street journalist point of view, frustrating because you just don't have access to the action.
And as you know, the Conservative Party, that dirty, stinking blue party, they're going to be electing a leader very soon, and one was knocked out yesterday. Are you happy with the 3 that's left?
Well, to be honest, I do really hope. Well, Cleverly is a kind of bit daft. Probably is the best one. I don't.
You love Cleverly. He's clever.
Yeah, in a way. I think let's look the list of the evils. I think Cleverly is probably just came in Badenoch. I really don't like her. She's an engineer. I'm an engineer too. I don't like the fact.
Yeah. You don't like it because she's a woman?
No, I don't like her because she's quite very racist and very right-wing.
How can a black woman in the Conservative Party be racist and right-wing? Because how many black women in the Labour Party are there? And we got one at least. We got the Queen of the House, Lady Diana.
Diana Hubbard. Diana Hubbard is more sympathetic, I would say, than Kemi Badenoch. I mean, she's a different cup of tea. But I really don't like the extreme right-wing agenda from Kemi Badenoch. And the fact she's an engineer, like I am, to just kind of support abuse. I think Cleverly, I think it's the less of the evils.
But does it matter who's elected to lead that stinking rotten party? And let the old Bill's coming for you.
Because I was actually listening, probably it's the leader which is going to take them into the general election. We'll see how it goes, I think, that, as I said, I don't know if I mentioned it before, the biggest problem for me is like a Reform Party, Nigel Farage. I think that's a real danger.
And I was hearing this morning that Keir Starmer's popularity is similar to that of Farage. What does that tell you?
Well, it seems that, Keir Starmer's popularity has kind of taken a bad dip. And he's going to...
Good.
Well, you say good. Well,
I'm a Labour supporter. I hate the geezer. So Keir.
Well, Sir Keir, I mean, Daddy Keir.
Oh, Daddy now. Daddy. That's revealing a lot.
No, Daddy Keir's because of our approach.
Oh, you're revealing something about yourself, lady. Oh, Daddy.
No, it was like a kind of very strict daddy when he kind of whipped the party into line, and we couldn't.
So all these people around us, they're all watching and they're laughing and they love it.
Yeah.
But tell us more about Daddy Keir.
Well, Daddy Keir, I think he should be getting more in tune with the country, particularly rejoining the EU, because there is a desire of rejoining the EU, and there is also the issue that I really hope he's not going to scrap a single person allowance, because that's what I get, because it's a huge amount of money, and we are piling up taxes on us, Okay, we are trying to sort out the mess of the Tory party, but, it's what he did, it's not particularly good. No.
But if Steve is watching, and he's there relaxing, chilling out, what do you want to say to him?
What I say, we are holding fort today, basically, and doing the best as we can,
Look, you've got all your fans surrounding you. Hey, which country are you from?
Germany!
So all the German family are out here, they're all supporting you.
Bochum, oh yeah, football.
Speak English!
Fußballmannschaft, No, okay, we come from Bochum. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Excellent, thanks a lot, my darling. Let's
Big up.
big up StreetMic. So let's go and see what's happening down here. And later on this afternoon, don't forget 3 p.m, I will be live and direct out on the streets with Mutter Woman. So we're going to be on the street somewhere, I can't tell you where, but we will be out. And here's Gareth, he's ringing the bell. Big up Gareth, big up.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. You can't replace a Tory Brexit with a Labour Brexit. It's still Brexit. It's still rubbish.
So Gareth, let's have a StreetMic interview. So if you jump down for a couple of seconds, It is so unusual to see Gareth with his bell out here as the boss. So where's the real boss today?
Oh, he's just busy, even top-hatted demagogues have to have a day off, so,
No, exactly. So what was it like for you, I saw you in Birmingham at the Labour Party, or outside of the Labour Party conference. I also saw.
Birmingham was Tory.
I was a Tory, or whichever. My apologies. And it's been a long time.
It's difficult to tell the difference.
And I also saw you at Liverpool. What was it like for you, Gareth, to be down both conferences? Because you were there for a long time, over that 2 weeks.
We were there for all the days, yes. But we've done that for years. We've done that now for a few years, and I've been going there for 3-4 years. Steve's been doing it longer than I have, of course.
Wow.
But we've done it for the last few years, and we go there, and of course it is different. It's a different character. So we were being very supportive of Labour, and we broadly are supportive.
I'm going to put that on you. You know me and Sam. I love my good sound.
And we broadly are supportive of Labour. And the thing is that the Labour Party card-carrying party members, they were coming up to us and going, yeah. And I met an old friend on the train on the way back, and she's a candidate, a delegate there, and she was quietly supportive. And I met another guy on the train, another delegate, and he was whatever. So the Labour Party is very much with us, not just on the EU, but also on PR. But then they've got those people in charge who are ignoring their party, who are ignoring the country, because the country is showing 60% of people wanting to rejoin now. So they're just ignoring the majority. So much for democracy. They're ignoring the majority of the Labour Party, and they're ignoring the majority of the country.
Can I? You know me, I like to be devil's advocate.
Yeah.
And I like to address both sides.
Yes.
Yeah. Potentially, ain't your arguments ignoring the majority who voted for Brexit?
Not at all.
Guana?
Because there was a majority that voted for Brexit. Now that majority was only over 27% of the population, but it was undeniably a majority of the people who voted. And we Brexited. But that wasn't the end of democracy. That wasn't the end of all political things. So now we are here, 8 years on. Obviously, me and Steve and a lot of people here, we've been campaigning all along. So like saying, you know, how we want to, first of all, not Brexit, but then rejoin once we have Brexit. The people who voted for their Brexit, they got it. They got it. They've had it. Time hasn't stopped. We now want something else. And if you know, we're some obscure, curious little group of people over there that no one really cares about, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it, guys. You know, it won't happen. If, however, we do represent a change in this country, whereby a lot of people voted for something they thought was going to be, they were promised such wonders, and they haven't materialised.
They were lied
through the teeth. So, and now they know that. So you've got the people who always thought it was a rubbish idea. You've got the people who weren't sure but went with it. A lot of them are now with us. You might have those committed people who are Brexit all the way, but they were only ever a tiny minority of the country. Most of the people who voted leave were promised things that they thought would be nice, they didn't materialise, and now they've changed their mind.
So coming back to you, Gareth, I'm just showing the people that there's a horse going by, and quite often I say that the king is married to a horse called Camilla, hence the reason
Off with his head.
So, how would you describe Sakia's performance? And his popularity is at all-time low, but as a government, how would you describe how he's done in the last 8 years, nearly 90 days? How's he done?
There are one or two things that could be mentioned that are quite positive. I like the idea, for instance, of there being a GB energy and stuff like that. And these things are underway. However, when you've got just such petty, stupid nonsense as having your glasses bought for you or having your suits bought for you, look,
But isn't that due to the narrative of the right-wing media who are trying to discredit Keir and his deputy by raising these issues?
No. It is a gift to the right-wing media, but they did actually do it. So, you know, yes, the right-wing media...
It's nothing unusual. They all do it and they all declared it.
Now, if the Tories are doing it and people are sick of the Tories, then people are looking for something different. And I think there was some nonsense said about how he's now got a box at his favourite, it's Arsenal, isn't it, his favourite football club, rather than standing in the stalls. Well, that might be argued as a security issue. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. It's the pettiness of suits and glasses. I'll tell you how you pay for suits.
But what do you mean by petty?
Let me finish this one point. In there are expenses to work, and there will be expenses to being an MP, and I get that. But like everyone else, if I need a pair of glasses, I buy a pair of glasses. If I need a suit, I buy a suit.
What gift is acceptable then?
Well, I'm not sure that there are gifts that are acceptable, but when they were talking
There
about
should be none.
quite possibly. Although what I would say is it is entirely understandable that MPs sometimes attend events, because there are things where the MPs are asked to lend their weight to a cause or something like that.
Or it can be in their constituency or whatever.
Yeah, so I do think we need to be sensible about this. There are things that are perfectly valid. Your glasses and your suit aren't those things. They're not those things.
Or
You
your
pay
wife's,
for your glasses
or
and
your
suit.
wife's dress.
Or your wife's dress. Though that's what your wage is for. It's not complicated. That's why the magic fairies put the money in your bank account at the end of the month. That's what it's for.
I hear you. It is a debate that's going to rumble on and on and on for the next few weeks. But today, it is PMQs, and I look forward to hearing and seeing what issues.
It's not just PMQs today. You know what else is happening today, don't
Yeah,
you?
go on.
The Tory party leadership will be whittled down to the final two.
My apologies. I actually mentioned that with Sylvia, but one's now been knocked out. Is one of your favourites still left?
Favourites. Listen. I always said if the Tories now wanted to get to be vaguely sensible, they'd elect Tugendhat. But they voted him out. They've given themselves a choice of nutters. Of the three,
I reckon
James
you love.
Cleverly.
I thought you liked Kemi.
No. Of the three, James Cleverly is the least insane. James Cleverly is the least insane, so let's hope he gets it. But none of them are paragons of probity or of good common sense or of reason or of morality even. It's like the Cleverly is the best of a bad lot. But the other two are... Cleverly is going to be a Tory leader that we're going to have problems with. It's going to be more business from the Tories, yes. But if either of the other two gets in, we are flirting with fascism, because I do believe that those two are dangerously close to something fascistic.
Could you also argue that whoever is elected is going to preside over a Tory party that's just about to collapse as Nigel Farage rises through the...
Yes, kinda. I do think that is overplayed, but I think it is undoubtedly the case that Reform are making some headway, and they can expect to take a bit more from the Tories. But I do think it gets overplayed in terms of, and I'm not being complacent here, but some people are sort of like talking about him as the next Prime Minister. No. However, they could grow in influence, certainly, which is dangerous. So,
As normal, Gareth, thank you very much. And I wonder what the great wartime leader would be thinking about what is going on in Parliament at this moment in time.
What he'd be thinking about the candidates for his Tory party was, where's my stick? I need to do some whipping.
Whip them, beat them. Whip them into shape or something different?
No, just beat them, because they are utterly, all of them, traitors to the Tory tradition that he stood for. Now, there's a tradition of conservatism. Most recent example of this would be John Major, for which, whilst I might not agree, I have a certain respect of it. And the Michael Heseltine thing as well.
So did Edwina Curry.
Well, yes, that's a different story. But, there is a line of Toryism that has its place. In the ecology of politics, there is a voice that needs to be expressed of that sort of outlook. That's fine. None of these three represent that at all. They represent something alien to this country. All three of them. And it is really quite dark and nasty. As I said, Cleverly is really not as pronounced as the other two, so I'm hoping he wins because it'll be a lesser evil. But that's as much as I can say for him. He's a lesser evil.
As normal, Gareth, thank you very much. I know you always engage with me. I can tell your friend here likes to engage.
Yes.
And I haven't engaged with him yet because I like to do it the proper way with sound, not with people heckling in the background like they do at Speaker's Corner.
You're being told off. That's
You like
Chris.
that one?
That's Chris.
Excellent, yeah.
Give him a quick word.
So, sir, hold on. Before I get to you, what I'm going to do, because I'm using, you normally see me with a big camera, don't you?
Yeah.
I'm not with a big camera today.
Where is it?
Yeah, I left it at home. Yeah, because I'm testing out. Yeah, this little GoPro.
He
It's
left
my
his
little
camera at home.
I left my good camera at home. Yeah. So what I'm doing now, I'm going to do that.
Are you live streaming?
Yeah, I'm live. You never see me video record. I don't believe in video recording and editing.
Please heckle heckle while I'm talking. Oh, please do.
So now I've got you in the frame. So introduce yourself,
Right,
and we can chat.
My name's Chris.
Chris, big up, big up.
And I feel that politically, it's like Alice down the rabbit hole.
Why do you feel politically it's like Sylvie down the rabbit hole?
Labour is acting more like a second-rate Tory party with the way they're treating the pensioners. Their efforts with the water companies are not going far enough. The Lib Dems seem to be doing more for the pensioners than the water companies, from what they're saying, than Starmer. I thought Starmer was meant to be for the ordinary people, the working classes.
So tell me, as a pensioner, I assume you are like me, how have you been affected?
One, you look far younger than me. Two,
Well, I'm 60.
hang on. Two, I feel that this country is in a mess that's been created over 14 years by a corrupt Tory party, and Labour is going at a cack-handed way of dealing with it.
Yeah, but give me more specifics. If it's going a cack-handed way, describe what you mean.
Winter fuel allowance for pensioners. Let's attack the most vulnerable, shall we? Why not tax the rich people and take people to court like Michelle Mone and Lord Ashcroft? Those are true criminals. And Farage, don't even get me started on Farage.
Big up, Nigel. You love Nigel. He bought Brexit. He made it happen. He made it happen. What's wrong with Nigel?
He's the king of the bullshitters, basically. Sorry,
You
king
love
of the liars.
Nigel, I can tell you. You love him.
I met him once.
You met him?
After 5 minutes, I really wanted to push him under a bus.
Oh, come on. We are not supporting any such thing, because the last person who made a similar comment, his name was Ricky Jones, and he's now in remand after. You remember that guy? I know him as well. He was a TSSA.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah, and I know him.
The thing is, he isn't just a man on the streets. He's got a position. He should have known better.
How can I sum up Farage? Self-serving, self-aggrandising, backstabbing liar.
So have you got anything good to say about Nigel Farage? Because he led this country in such a great way, and people listened to him. And one of my most memorable occasions, well, I will never forget Nigel Farage, because I'm an LBC listener, I have to admit that, yeah. And I'll never forget when he had his programme on LBC, someone very famous rung in when he was a presenter, Donald Trump, and chat with him when Donald was president.
That's a recommendation.
Well, I've always maintained that Farage is Donald Trump's suppository. Yes.
I hear you, but I saw you also, just like I said to Gareth and also to Sylvie, I saw you also in Liverpool.
I wasn't now.
That's Birmingham.
Wasn't now.
Oh my God. I'm not going mad. I'm saying I saw him in Liverpool and
I'm a
Birmingham.
pensioner.
There's a couple of guys there, but I'm afraid they weren't Chris.
So why weren't you there then?
Because I'm on a state pension, and it cost me a bloody fortune to get up there.
No, I hear you, and thank you very much for
Sylvie is our hero.
Sylvie, I was there with her.
Daddy Keir, yeah, with Daddy Keir, yeah.
Oh, did you hear this? She's now calling Keir Starmer
But it's like
Daddy.
Daddy Keir.
Oh, Daddy.
Oh,
Daddy.
because it's quite, when he took charge of a Labour Party, he acted like a very stern and strong dad.
I can see the resemblance.
Yeah, Daddy Keir.
But we've had some private discussions
About Daddy Keir.
about Daddy Keir and certain things that haven't happened to you lately. And when you're mentioning Daddy Keir, it's making me wonder.
No, I did nothing of that kind, but I think it's like a kind of severe father. Sometimes he doesn't listen, the mood of a room,
The mood of the room.
Yeah, but it's like, for example, when you got your kids who want to push forward an agenda, it's like I say, oh, forget it, he's not listening to people, for example, regarding Brexit. And also regarding what's happening with the big, with the taxation of, cutting pensioner funds and, the single discount for the single person allowance for the consultants, which affects me personally.
But like, I remember last year, you and I used to have a discussion about one of your favourite politicians, Baristoni or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Berlusconi.
He's now dead, isn't he?
He died last year. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So as soon as you disclose you liked him, he snuffed it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen to Daddy here. Come on.
Oh, daddy. So we can chat more about you and Daddy in the coming future. So for those of you who are watching, I don't want to, and I hope I'm not making too much noise for you. If not, I can move elsewhere.
Can I just make one point?
Yeah, go.
When a politician tells a lie to the public, whether in Parliament or whether at an election, they should be held accountable, and because it's no better than slander, and it's treating the public with great disrespect. In actual fact, they're being disloyal to the people and to the country. They should always be truthful.
I hear you. And how do you define the truth in closing?
The truth, they say the truth is subjective,
Yeah, exactly.
but when it comes to political truths, say what you mean what you say. And if you make a promise, keep it.
Big up. So all I can say, sir, is thank you very much. I'm now going to ask you to give me back my microphone because I know you're a thief and I don't want you teeth in my microphone.
Oh,
Yeah, that one. Thank you very much.
I'll tell you what, if you kept that on, you could have had some very interesting conversations.
No,
in the pub later.
I can assure you I won't be keeping that on. So for those of you who are watching, good afternoon. My name is Wendell Daniel and I'm coming to you live and direct from my GoPro, which I'm just testing out. This is not my usual thing. And with this GoPro, look, I've got to take this so I can also see your comments because I can't hold and watch at the same time because I don't have that capabilities. But later on this afternoon, I'm going to be making my way somewhere else in London where I am meeting Mutar Woman at 3 p.m. and then Mutar Woman or Shalali will be preaching the word of God somewhere, someplace in London. But I'm not telling you where, but all I can say is that make sure you come back on and see me. I will be live and direct at 3 p.m. But we are currently outside of the house. In 5 minutes time, Sakir will be standing at the dispatch box and he will be answering questions, Prime Minister's questions. And who knows what that first question is going to be. Will it be about all of these freebies he's been having, or will it be something surrounding what's going on in Gaza? So whatever the question is, I don't want you leaving StreetMic to go and watch bullshit that's going to be happening in Parliament. Come back and listen to StreetMic. And in a few moments, Gareth with his bell, he's got his bell right there. Look, is his bell. He's going to be dinging his bell. Ding, 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 ding.
Can I just ask Keir Starmer a question?
Yes.
Yeah, go on, Claire.
Has he ever heard of Specsavers?
Yeah, he has. And they're too expensive, so he needs it free.
Palestine.
So you want free Palestine?
Inshallah. Inshallah, free Palestine.
Why do you want Palestine free?
Inshallah, believe to my God, free Palestine. Inshallah.
But why? Tell me why.
Why kill child? I am Muslim. I am Iraqi. I am from Iraq, Baghdad. Alaykum salam. I am from Baghdad. Why kill child?
What is it like for you knowing and seeing and experiencing exactly what is the atrocities that are taking place in your country?
I don't know. I am very, very bad. Believe to my God.
Yeah. All right then.
Allah.
Big up. Big up.
Boom, 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 boom.
So all I can say to you guys, I'm going to be out here with my GoPro for another hour or so. And what I'm going to do soon, I'm going to walk around Westminster to give you a feel of what goes on down here. And I'm also going to make my way down towards Downing Street. So where do you want me to go first? Do you want me to go You tell me, you guys, do you want me to go Downing Street first? Or do you want me to go at the front of Parliament and you can see as people come and go? Yeah. Oh, you're putting some music on, yeah? So Gareth is going to be booming some music out in a minute. So I will be moving in a few moments. So where do you want me to go? Do you want me to go first to the front of Westminster? And here's some more horses going by. So there's some more horses, click clock, click clock, click clock. And I said that the King Charles was married to a horse. So he's bringing the horses. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to follow the horses, click clock, click clock, click clock, click clock. And here are the best police officers in the world. But they're shocked that I said that. So you watch them, they're going click clock, and they're going to be making their way towards Downing Street. So I was going to be asking you guys, should I first go to Downing Street? But what I will do, I will follow the horses as they make their way to Downing Street, and we are currently going past HM Revenue and Customs, and just 100 yards ahead we've got the Cenotaph, where I should be on Remembrance Sunday as we remember all of those who died in the war and subsequent wars. So you see these rovers here, they're the ones that takes. See, I was just going to say, now you can see the blue lights, they're the police ones. So I know what goes on down here. So they're the ones that take ministers and royalty. They're the rovers. So I'm now walking up towards look at it standing there. To the glorious dead. When I switch this off, I've got to deal with the contrast and white balance because that's slightly out. But I can do that later on because this is all about testing and getting things right. But I can see by looking in the screen, the white balance isn't quite perfect, but there's the horses now going past Downing Street where Sakir came out of. And I'm just looking in front of Downing Street now. So this is Downing Street now. So this is where the Prime Minister came out of, and it's now 12 o'clock. And as we can see, this is where it all takes place. So this is Downing Street. So this is in the background of these guys down there, that's number 10 Downing Street. And this is where he comes out of this gate and he goes down, and he was driven down there towards Parliament. So for all of you who are watching, this is what it's like on the streets. And would you like to go behind those gates? I'm not going to be going behind those gates because I comply with rules. If you try to get behind those gates, you'll probably get shot. And I don't want that to be happening to StreetMic in the near future. So that's what it's like down here. So this is where the Prime Minister resides. That's where Dodgy Boris had his parties. And just a bit further down is where Basker makes his money. So I'm now going to I'm now going to come back. So you are going to be on a guided tour today. I'm just going to say hello to a few of you online. So leave my rights alone. Good afternoon, sir. Yeah. So Peter Parker, when does the riot start? There's no riots going to be taking place in this great country. Why are you asking for riots? What we want is peace. We love peace. So leave my rights alone. They play with the prices at different stores. I don't know what that refers to. Now they're talking about Tesco being overpriced. What's that all about? Kipper sniffer. At this point, they died for what? I'm assuming you're referring to me walking past the cenotaph. Then they're talking about Asda, Tesco, oh my Sainsbury's. You guys, man. Why are you talking about supermarkets? I'm trying to give you a educational journey through the streets of London with my GoPro, and you're talking about Tesco's. Oh my God. And over the road there's a protest taking place. I can go over there in a minute. So King 77703 said, Ainsley, what's cooking? So look, see, I've now got this on my arm, and with this on my arm I can now see what's going on. So Sean has said, big up StreetMic and Tesco's. What a rascal like that going on now. So I am going to be meeting important people. I'm just going to give you a little feel of something very important. Next Friday at 10 p.m, make sure, not this Friday, Friday the 18th at 10 p.m, make sure you tune in to StreetMic live stream. Yeah, set your clocks now. Unfortunately, I can't tell you why, but I can assure you it's what you are going to see. It's not a funeral, nothing to do with funerals. It's going to be historical. I'm not permitted to tell you what, but I'll be filming something very important, and make sure you tune in. If you remember, on Sunday, I engaged with a young lady at Speaker's Corner by the name of Zaina Iman, and Zaina claimed that she had been raped in police custody. And she gave me a video, and she gave me other evidence to support what she said, what she was claiming. Since Sunday, I have had a detailed conversation with Zaina, and I've spoken to her on the telephone on a few occasions. She's also sent me a significant amount of information in regards to her case and what has happened, what had happened. And I have a thing called the Baird report. She sent me it. I also got the IOPC report. She has sent me a lot of information to back up exactly what she has said in regards to a rape that took place in Pendleton Police Station in Manchester, Stafford. So I have made arrangements, and you will be seeing a lot more, but the information is already in the public domain. An event is being planned outside of Pendleton Police Station next Saturday from 1 till 4 p.m. So I will be live with Zaina and others outside of Pendleton Police Station from 1 till 4 p.m. next Saturday. And we're looking at a number of speakers who will be there, and on this occasion we will be collaborating, you like the language there, collaborating with a number of well-known persons to live stream the event, and it's going to be watched by a lot of people. So there's going to be a number of well-known live streamers out on the streets that day, and people are coming together to support Zaina, because what she is saying isn't a lie. I believe what she's saying, and she's provided the evidence to support. So that will be happening next Saturday in Manchester, and I will be there. I've already bought my ticket. I bought it last night, so I will be going to Manchester to bring it to you live and direct from. And I feel so sorry for the young lady, because the evidence is pointing to she told the truth. When she was released from the police station, she went immediately to the hospital. At that hospital, tests were conducted, and there is medical evidence to show that she had vaginal and also anal damage. So there's all the evidence there. It's not made up, but she's been able to back up her claims with evidence. And so we will be standing shoulder to shoulder with Zaina, and you will see the police station in the background. And I hope you guys tune in. And I'm just gonna say hello, Thomas P. Crenshaw, big up from Sydney, Australia. Muslim revert, no biz. Leave my rights alone, sick feckler. Leave my rights alone, Muslim reverts. King 7703, poor woman. Hi, Australia. So I'm going to be in a few moments making my way down towards, because I was going to first go outside of Westminster, outside of the Houses of Parliament. Is that what you want me to show you? Because I was hoping Steve Bray was going to be here today, but he's not. On the other side, there's currently a protest taking place, so I'm going to engage with those guys for a few moments. And then when I finish engaging with those guys, hey, come, I'm leaving in a minute, man. That's someone. When you're out on the streets, everyone knows you. Someone just said on a Boris bike, big up StreetMic. So I said to him, come back. So yeah, so when I go over the road, do you want me to go directly to Downing Street? Sorry, directly to Parliament to show you what is going on out there. Steve Bray's not here today. Apparently he's on holiday. So what do you want me to do, or do you want me to shut off and leave? I can make my way down towards Horse Guards Parade like Basker does. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. Then we can make our way down towards Trafalgar Square. We can see a bit of what's happening in Leicester Square. And also, some people have asked me, would I do a stream directly from Soho? We can head towards there, but I cannot be live streaming certain things in Soho where it's shown nudity or pornography, because you get bans for that. So just to let you know, certain things that can't happen. Showing nudity and showing pornography is something that can't happen. But also, that's good morning, officers. Keep up the great work. So there's two great police officers walking by me, and when I say things like that, they thought, this geezer's mad. What's he saying, great officers? I've got to keep him sweet, man. I've got to keep him sweet. So I'm now going to go over the road, but when I go over the road, do you want me to go left towards Trafalgar Square, or do you want me to go right towards Westminster? Do you want me to go that way towards Trafalgar Square, or do you want me to go right towards Westminster? But come 1:30, I'm shutting down, heading off to meet Mutter woman at 3 o'clock. So what do you want me to do? So Max McDonald said, take some gunpowder with you to plant under Keir's seat. So I'm not supporting anything you're saying like that, because when you make such claims, there's possibilities that, you know, people take it the wrong way and then report you for something that you're not thinking about. So I'm not thinking like that. That is violence against other people, and I'm not thinking that way at all. So Ace 99, go to Westminster. Why do you want me to go to Westminster, A99? So Michael Stephen has said, go to the far right. Well, I've been accused of going to the far right by standing shoulder to shoulder with, oh, Tommy. So, Wave, StreetMic, why can't I donate to your channel? That's a great question, and I'll tell you why. I do not believe in monetization. I do not believe in taking money for what I'm doing. And, you know, and I'm being very strong on that. You know, anyone who takes money for what we do, I believe is a corrupt practice. I believe if you do what I'm doing, you do it for free. If you do it for money, it changes the dynamics of what we are doing. So that is why you cannot donate to my channel. That is why you will never be able to donate to my channel, because I do not believe in monetization. I do not believe in making money from what I'm doing. You know, I make sufficient money already doing other things, live streaming, and therefore I can do this for free. I do not agree with it, and I will not agree with it. So I'm just looking across the road. I may run over there quickly because, let me come back. I can see something, I can see something. I can see something. I think the police is telling people to take their banners down or something. So I'm going over there to listen to exactly what's going on without getting killed. No, I can see the old Billa smiling. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to engage with these guys in a few moments, and after I do, you have said what you would like me to do is to go left and go right. So I think I will decide exactly where to go, but we're currently outside of the Ministry of Defence, and this is just some of the stuff that happens down here at Westminster. So you guys are watching at home. What are you doing? Why are you at home watching? Why are you not slaving away behind a laptop or a computer in a corporate building? Why not? So the old Bill's now gone. See, I like to show respect and courtesy, man. So we're just gonna see what these guys down here are doing. So let me come up to you, sir. I'll introduce myself. Not many people know me and don't believe that. My name's Wendell Daniel from StreetMic live stream. We're currently live streaming, and can I just put a microphone on you to make sure we get crystal clear sound?
If you like.
I did this. You wouldn't.
Better people you can speak to.
No, everyone is good. But you wouldn't believe, during the week, I do a lot of funerals, yeah? And after there was an event in the Middle East, I said to a church minister, can I put the microphone on you? And you know what he said? As long as it doesn't explode.
You look like a kind man. I'm sure that won't happen.
Yeah, I'm sure. So, sir, if you can introduce yourself, what's your name?
Okay, so I'm Peter.
You're Peter?
Yeah.
That's a very posh name, Peter.
That's a very ordinary name.
Yeah, exactly. So what are you doing down here, Peter? And I thought that said Wendell, which is my name, but what are you doing down here?
That's Welsh language. I'll explain why in a minute. So this week is United Nations Space Week, and it's also Keep Space for Peace Week. So what we're basically saying is space is becoming increasingly militarised. Lots of spy satellites, communication satellites, and as it becomes more militarised, then the various superpowers, Russia, China, United States, are kind of keeping an eye on what their rivals are doing, and they're kind of looking to, if necessary, be able to shoot down the enemy's satellites. So we don't think that's a good idea. We don't think sort of war's a good idea, particularly war in space. So that's why we're here today.
Oh, fair enough. But you've brought up some issues which I'm finding very interesting already. And if you know my style, I like to be devil's advocate. Just because I'm devil's advocate doesn't mean I'm actually being serious. So don't you think Elon Musk is going to have something to say about your arguments?
Well, yes, I'm sure he is, and that's a very interesting thing, because obviously Elon Musk is chucking literally thousands of satellites into space. and his company SpaceX do a lot of work for the US military. So the answer is yes.
So, but isn't it good, I'm being devil's advocate yet again, isn't it good that this is happening in space, then potentially are we not safer because there are satellites up there, there's military weapons up there, that potentially if something is launched on Earth, that those weapons in space can, to stop?
Yeah. There aren't as yet weapons in space as far as we know.
As far as we know, I bet they are.
But there are obviously satellites that play an important role in tracking things like missile launches.
Yeah. Because if you remember in the 80s, I believe, with the President of America.
That's right, Ronald Reagan.
And the
Star Wars project.
That's correct. See, I'm an old man. I don't look it. I don't look it, but I'm very old.
Yeah. So this was one of the things that Reagan wanted to do with Star Wars, and he and his advocates, they called it the Space Shield for precisely the reasons that you've said. They kind of presented it as being something that would protect America from missile strikes from other nations. But you also have to look at it from the point of the others, so looking at it from Russia's point of view. If America's got a space shield that stops all their missiles coming through, what happens then if America fires their missiles back at Russia? Russia doesn't have those defences. So it's quite a destabilising thing to happen. What we really need to do is sort of engage in discussion, dialogue, detente between the superpowers, so that we can kind of build down from this confrontation.
But what I'll do, I'll come back to you because it seems like a speech is just beginning. So all I can say, thank you very much, sir. Yeah, thank you. No problem. Thank you. So that's Chris.
Opportunity for people to challenge the militarisation of space, and there are events happening all around the country and indeed all around the globe. And it's even amidst all the awfulness that's happening in the world at the moment, and we think particularly, of course, of Gaza and Lebanon and Ukraine and Somalia and Sudan and Afghanistan and Yemen and all these other places, which is terrible things that are happening. It's also important that we pay attention now to the increasing militarization of space and make our opposition to the militarization of space very public and very known. So over the last couple of years, the UK and the US have declared space now to be a war-fighting domain, and many other states too see it's important that they begin to control space militarily. As they say, it's essential for national security. And others too, like Elon Musk, see space as a resource simply to be exploited for profit. But they're all, of course, conveniently forgetting the Outer Space Treaty of 1969, which most states in the world at that time signed, including the US and the UK, which recognises space as a global commons to be used for the benefit of all humanity, not one particular state or group of people, and not to be exploited, and not as a place for weaponry. And we all know, of course, that space is a region of wonder and inspiration, and many of us, are challenged by what's going on and want to discover and explore more about space. However, too many activities in space are now focused on militarization or commercial exploitation. And space, especially the UK and the US, see space as essential now for warfighting on the ground, through military intelligence satellites, through communication satellites, through what they call missile defense systems. And in just the last couple of months, the UK has agreed to position a new ground-based radar in Pembrokeshire, and we're very much here today in solidarity with Park Against Dark, who are local people in Pembrokeshire who are challenging and campaigning against the development of this new space system, this new ground system in Pembrokeshire. Meanwhile, in July this year, the UK launched the first of its new military intelligence satellite systems called Minerva, from Cape Canaveral in the United States. And we're also trying to develop space launch, military space launch and civil space launch capability from here in the UK. And you may remember at the beginning of last year there was an attempt by the UK to launch a satellite into space from Newquay. That failed. And they very much want to launch a satellite this year from the Shetland Islands, a new spaceport in the Shetland Islands. But just a few weeks ago, the test rocket exploded on the space pad and destroyed. So that's been put back for a while. But nevertheless, they continue to say, well, these mistakes happen. We need to continue to push on. And of course, other states too, as well, very much see space control, as they call it. Space control is the euphemism for war fighting in space. So we're here today very much to urge officials, military officials, civil servants, scientists, academics, and all those involved in the space sector who are inspired by the wonders of space to ensure that their work is not used to make space a war-fighting domain, to not militarise space. And more than that, we here, we the public, demand a say in this. So many decisions about this are being made by a small group of policymakers and huge business and entrepreneurs without public say-so. So we're very much here to say it's time to keep space for peace and to challenge the militarisation of space. So thank you very much.
Excellent, thank you very much.
Hand over to Kate now from CND.
So let's listen to Kate from CND. So
Thanks.
this is Kate.
Thanks very much, Chris. And thanks to Chris and Peter and the different organisations that have coordinated today's protest here outside the MOD. And of course, this is just one tiny part of a global week of action calling for space to be kept for peace. And as Chris has outlined so clearly, it's never been more important to really escalate our work against the militarisation of space. Now, there are many, many human activities that take place in space. Satellites are the obvious one that we'll all be very aware of, and they provide things like the internet, phones, media, air and sea safety, all kinds of really constructive things that we need in our everyday life. And that's good, particularly when they are safe and properly regulated. You know, they are something that enhance and improve our lives. But as Chris says, increasingly, these are also used for military operations and communications. And as long as I've been active in C&E, I remember the kind of ongoing discussion and education around what's called dual-use technology. In other words, you can have the same piece of technology that is used to save lives, and the same piece can be used in other forms to kill people. You know, so this is the issue, controlling these forms of technology. So things like flying armed drones remotely controlled. You know, they're one example of potentially constructive technology that is used in very negative ways. And things like precision-guided munitions, and it's clear how that can also be used in positive and negative ways. Chris mentioned that exploration in space and things like that can be kind of inspiring and, you know, all that sort of thing. And I remember when I was a child, there was the space race going on, you know, in the 1960s, and what that meant really, or what everyone thought it meant, was getting someone on the moon, you know, and investigating and learning more about the solar system, and that was seen as a very positive, outgoing kind of thing. But of course, we now know that at the same time, there were also the military agendas behind that. And of course, nowadays, it's not only states and governments that seek to have control and expand their influence in space, it's also the commercial interests, the big corporations, so it's both seeking commercial and strategic military advantage. I first became really aware of what was going on in space, you know, and the militarization in the early 1980s, and some of us here will remember Ronald Reagan, the president of the US at that time, and his whole Star Wars initiative, as it was called, Star Wars. It's actually before the film even, or around the same time as that. And this was around the so-called Missile Defense Project, which Chris also touched on, made of radars and missile systems and so on. And I think it's important to point out how much opposition over the decades there has been to these kinds of initiatives. And I was thinking about, when I was thinking about Park Against Dark, which is against the radar being placed in Pembrokeshire and the impact on the local community, it reminded me of a campaign that CND was involved in around 2008, which was actually against sighting a radar in the Czech Republic. This was a US initiative. And there's a little village called Brdy, B-R-D-Y, and there was an initiative to place a big radar system there. And local opposition was so intense, and there were loads of little villages, some with only 100 or 200 people living there, and all the mayors of these villages had referendums. Did the local people want it or not? And they were all like 99 or 100% against having the radar located there. And so it wasn't put there, and the US had to go away, you know. So I think it shows how effective local campaigning can be. So the campaigns that are ongoing against the spaceports, for example, you know, and against dark, these can be successful if we get together as campaigners and communities and say, no, we are not prepared to have them. The alternative, of course, is the kind of expansion of the US's vision. Also, when I first got involved in C&D, they had this thing called Vision 2020, which was basically called US full spectrum dominance. And it started off being dominance of land, sea and air, militarily. Then it became dominance of land, sea, air and space. And then they added on information, you know. So all those things that we now see, well, not only unfolding, but already happening, those are taking place. So it's absolutely vital that we continue with our work against these type of developments. We continue to support international calls for a new treaty, the Prevention of the Arms Race in Outer Space Treaty, PAROS. There's been demands for that from big states for many years, and that is essential to supplement the Outer Space Treaty, which bans nuclear weapons in space, that Chris referred to as well. So we are fully in support of this campaign. We will do whatever we can. We will work with partners working in this area, and we will support all the local communities that are trying to prevent this taking place. So let's keep space for peace. Thank you.
Thank you. So you've now heard what is going on down here. So what I'm now going to do, I'm now going to sum up, and then you guys can tell me if you want me to just let me set the camera up. So that's what's going on down here. So what do you want me to do? Do you want me to shut down now, or should I make my way down towards Horse Guards, Trafalgar Square and Leicester Square? Because I do have to make my way to meet Mutter Woman, and I will be leaving, what's the time there? So it's 12:31. So for the next half an hour, you can tell me to get lost, StreetMic. So where do you want me to go? Do you want me to head towards Trafalgar Square and give you some, and you can find out what's going on? Or should I shut down, and then the next time I start back up, it will be with Mutter Woman and she will be preaching the word of God at some stage, at some location in London. So what do you want me to do? Go online and tell me what you want me to do. So Business Australia has said Soho as soon as possible. Is that what you dirty, stinking, rotten scoundrels want me to do? You want me to go to Soho because you're all perverts and all you want to see is pornography. Is that what you're telling me? Santos Flow, I like that. Meet the PM for lunch. Meet the PM for lunch, and I've no doubt he will be having lunch probably 100 yards behind me later on this afternoon. So do you want me to make my way, go with the flow and make my way towards, go for a mooch? Dibbo says I want punani. Give me punani, want punani. So let's make our way down towards. So I'm now going to show you a bit of what Basker does. And I like Basker, I like him. And he's not like me, big mouth. He just does what he has to do. But he likes to film horses. But there's no horses out in WhiteHall down in, I believe they're not due back until next week, if I'm correct. So Basker's now become the bastion of filming horses, I'm led to believe. But if there are horses out, I'll show you. Oh my God, the horses are out. So we might see Basker. So, but I'm just declaring I'm not interested in filming horses like Basker. I'm just walking down towards Trafalgar Square, and in going in that direction, there are horses. That is the only reason I'm heading to film a horse. I'm not trying to copy anything anyone else is doing because I do my own stuff. So, and I might see Camilla because I think she's a horse. E-on. So we're now coming up to Horse Guards. We can see some horses. This is where Basker is normally. I might see him. I might ring him. Basker, where are you? Your horses are back. And since Basker started doing this, these people like to So this is Basker's Fontaine. The horses stink, man. They stink of piss and shit. All I can smell is urine and poo. So there's some more horses. Does that look like Camilla? I think it does. I think there are similarities between this horse and Camilla. I should ring Basker now and ask him, Basker, where are you? So that's enough for me. Can you believe that so many people actually make their way down towards London just to film the horses? But when you go into this location there, you can't film, even though you got to put it away, and it's surrounded by armed police. So when you go in there, put your camera away, if not you're in breach of rules. But one thing about London is that as a visitor, it is such a big, beautiful location with so much history. There are so many things to see when you are in this great city, and I'm proud to say that I live in London, but where I come from in Barbados is a billion times better than this. But London is a great place, but Barbados is even better. But this has its own unique characteristics, and historically, I think this place is amazing. All of the institutions that make up this country, you know, you got to learn from this country. But the person or persons who control these organs, as I call them, these are the state organs that we're surrounded by. And one has to learn. And in the far distance where we can see a number of buses, we can see Lord Nelson standing on his column, and he's there. They claim that Lord Nelson discovered the West Indies. What a load of bullshit when it was already there. That's just a historical lie. And that's what it's like when you're part of this historical place. But it can create its own lies that they want people to believe. Nelson discovered the West Indies. Ha ha ha. What kind of bullshit was that? Yeah, I love Camden. That's one place I'm due to be. And you know something? I could actually go Camden quickly from here. Should I go Camden from here? Hold on, I'm thinking, instead of going, because I've got the time. Nah. Because where I'm meeting Mutta woman, I'm going to meet her for lunch first, and then we go onto the streets and preach. But wherever it is, I've got to jump on the Elizabeth line to meet Mutta woman, Shalali, Shalini. So you guys watching at the moment, looking forward to hearing Shalini preach. So are you looking forward to listening to Shalini preach? And there's someone who's there, who's on the streets, and they are I feel sorry for them. They're outside of 12 WhiteHall and they're in their sleeping bag. So Richard has said, can't stand the gobby cow. Who's that, Camilla? So from what I'm seeing, you all love Shalini. I nicknamed him Mutta Woman. She don't like me calling her that. But I'll call her it just to piss her off. So, can you recognise where you are, those online? Can you recognise where I am? Can I do a stream with Danny Shane? I would love to. Do you know something? The first time I met Danny Shane was in Camden, and I think he lives down there. But yeah, that's a great suggestion, and I will remind me on Sunday if he is at Speaker's Corner to say, Danny, let's do a stream on your own away from Speaker's Corner, and that would be great. So yeah, I like that suggestion. Danny Shine was at Speaker's Corner on Sunday. I didn't cover him because he actually arrived just before I left. So Danny Shine was at Speaker's Corner on Sunday. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go into Trafalgar Square, sit down, and we can have a now, and then I can start making my way towards Soho. No idea what happened to Victor Ace 99. I send him stuff every week. He reads it, but he doesn't respond. Victor is an academic, and Victor, I believe, is studying, and he's doing a lot of research. That's why you don't see or hear, well, I believe that's why you don't see and hear from Victor. But I have contacted him, but he hasn't responded. So I did say to people, but Victor is my favourite, but I haven't seen. I'm going to put my camera up on the stream, and then we can hear some music in a minute. So I think you can So Wave, they said, can you do a stream showing a museum? But we are going past lots of museums in a minute. London City event. Any news about Ricky Jones? Ricky is on remand and his case is scheduled to take place in January, and he's pleaded not guilty to the charge, so he's going to be on remand until January, then his trial begins. But I have disclosed previously, I know Ricky Jones, because he was a chief negotiator for TSSA as part of the London Underground team. So that's how I knew him, because I worked on London Underground. And I've interviewed Ricky Jones in the past. And shame what he said, and you say something in jest and then you can repent at leisure. But who knows? Did he foresee what would have happened? No, he didn't, but it's happened. Ace 99 has said Fenceman was funny. Initially I found Fenceman funny, but when I saw what Fenceman was doing regularly, I then realised that Fenceman was a danger. And because he was so dangerous, because he was kicking people, and when he was kicking people, there was a possibility that someone could be seriously injured. And then someone online once said that Fenceman has been committed in a mental institution and he gets released at the weekends. And I asked him if this was true, and he confirmed, yes, it was true. So that's a fact. Someone has said, do I like Vybz Kartel? I'm Bajan, not Jamaican. Certain music is not my preferred choice. And that was a loaded question. If you ask me about things Vybz Kartel used to sing about many years ago, do I agree with him? I believe equality should exist. Jason Carter are the BBC studios nearby. If I got on this bus, which is the 29 bus, which is just in front of me now, there are various different BBCs in London. There's a BBC just up the road. It's probably about 10 minutes away from here, down in Oxford Circus. So yeah, there is a BBC nearby, but the main BBC studios isn't here. That's down in Shepherd's Bush. But there is a BBC studios nearby, yes. Jason Carter, like, the beefies hanging around there with a camera freaks them out apparently. Don't believe in what you say. People with cameras is a normal part of culture. So being freaked out by seeing a camera, we're surrounded by thousands of cameras on a daily basis, so there's nothing new of being seen with a camera. So I can't see why something like that would freak a person out. So Peter Parker, Tommy will be back, posted on most channels. Yeah, Tommy will be back. I know certain things that are going on. Very intimate details about what's happening with Tommy. I'm not telling you. All you have to know is that on the 26th of October, Tommy Robinson will be in London for Uniting the Kingdom 2. It's got very different names, or Standing Up Against Tyranny, but regardless what the event is called, Tommy will be in London on the 26th of October. Dibble has said Tommy will be back in Belmarsh. If you want me to give you my opinion, I will do. It is highly likely that on the 28th of October, 48 hours after Uniting the Kingdom, Tommy will be back in Belmarsh. So it is highly likely that will happen. And Tommy, I've seen stuff, and Tommy is of that opinion that is what's going to be happening when he goes to court, because the authorities want to send a clear signal out to people that when the court says you don't do something, you don't do it. And if you don't know what I was talking about, on the 27th of July, just behind me, because I was on the stage here with Tommy Robinson, and he had an event called Uniting the Kingdom, and it was the first event, and he unveiled the documentary film. And I was Tommy Robinson's photographer. I was close up with him, and when he was on the stage, he said that he was likely to go in prison for disclosing, I beg your pardon, that documentary film. And I'm of the belief, by giving you my opinion, which is unusual, I'm of the belief that Tommy Robinson is sacrificing himself for a greater cause by being placed in prison. But the fear is, and just like Tommy has said previously, can't remember if it was in a film or here, when he was in prison, the problem being, when people know who he is, when it comes to eating and drinking, he couldn't take food because it is likely someone may want to poison him. So he lost a lot of weight and he couldn't eat or drink. So these are the things that one needs to consider when you're a well-known person. Because even when I'm, for example, on the streets, there's certain things I don't do. If I'm at Speaker's Corner, I do not take food or drink from anyone who's giving it away, because there are risks associated with doing that. Benny Bunter has said he had canned food, but the point being, you have to be careful with the food. So, by the way, I'm only running on one network, so if it sticks on occasion or buffer on occasion, it's because I'm only on one network on this GoPro. But when I'm doing certain events, I will go 6 networks because it has to be perfect. But when I'm doing this, it doesn't matter if it's not perfect, you get what I'm saying? So hence the reason. So when I do big proper events, I will be using proper equipment, not this equipment in which I'm using now. And what I say is that using this is like going from driving a Ferrari to driving around in a Skoda. So let's listen to some music.
So your mom, she forgot that I existed. Half past 4, I just like to play the big about out the road till my friends come home for Christmas. And maybe it's time you have some version of you that I might not have, but I did not lose it. I go riot shots with one pair of shoes and I'm waiting high that I'll have to do. It'll have to do, thank you. My other half was you. I hope this pain is just passing through nothing, but I doubt it.
So this is London for you. This is what goes on the streets of London. Are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying it?
I just like to play the victim out the road. Leave me straight or some version of you that I might not have, but I did not lose. Now you're tired tracks and one pair of shoes, and I'm waiting hard that I'll have to do. Thank you.
Big up. One thing I've noticed about you guys in the chat is that it's like you're becoming a family and you seem to know each other and you look forward to meeting each other. Is that a true assessment of how I see things, that you guys in the chat, you are becoming? You are like a little family, a StreetMic family. Is that true or not? Or is that an incorrect assessment of what I'm seeing? So is that a correct assessment that you have become or are becoming a family in the chat? So those of you who are LBC listeners like me, I will show you where the LBC studios are, because we will be going past it very soon. So the LBC studios, we're at this moment in time that hot called James O'Brien, who I used to like, who I don't like no more, will be on air, and then Sheila Fogarty will be taking over from him. So just about 100 yards in front of me is the studios of LBC. That's their home. So they're normally here with a dog, and there's the dog food. So that's another homeless person. And sometimes you ask yourself, London is or this country is such a rich place. Why are we surrounded by so many homeless people? So we're going into Leicester Square in a moment, but first of all I'm showing you we're global. So this is the LBC studios. So that's the LBC studios in front of me. That's where Ferrari and all them people are, up there. So there's global London, so that's where the LBC studios, so that's where the LBC studios are. So that's where the LBC studios are, just in that building right there. So we are now making our way towards Leicester Square Tube, if you recognise where I am, and then I'm going to be turning left and making our way towards the cinemas. This is Theatreland now. When you come down here in the evening, it's really beautiful. So, Oedipus, so let's go through here. And we're going to be going into the heart of Theatreland. And last time I was here, there was a charity event being planned. So before we get to Soho, you dirty, rotten scoundrels, that's not porn, that's for theatre tickets. So before we get to Soho, we go through Chinatown. So I'm going to take you on a journey through Chinatown, where you will see some lovely food on offer. So let's see if these guys know anything about football. Let's see what control they've got with the ball. And it looks like they have none. It looks like they pretend they can do tricks, but they're actually rubbish. So these are some of the guys who are down here. They think they had skills. They think they have skills in their ability to control a ball. We're not impressed.
Not impressed.
Whoa! You're from Brazil? That you can. Where are you from?
London.
Not impressed.
Not impressed. I'm not impressed as well. I know.
Around the world.
Are you guys online impressed?
What is this live? What you saying? Hey.
Big up.
Big up my Instagram, Lamar Freestyle. LAMAR.FRE.
Who said you can advertise on my front channel free of charge? See, these guys, they come down here, all they think about is promoting themselves. They think they're great, but in actual fact, they're fake. Just like these politicians that we see all the time. And let you decide if you believe they're good at what they do.
Comedian show. Is it a comedy show?
So, sir, what's your name?
My name is Lamar.
So, Lamar.
Yes.
Well, what are you doing down here, sir?
This is my daily job.
It's your daily job? Yeah. How can this be a job performing?
Well, I'm standing here today.
Yeah.
I'm going all over the world. I'm able to afford a house.
So
the rent, not the house.
So you judge success on your ability to go around the world and pay the rent. Is that how you judge success?
No, success is passion.
You got passion?
Yeah.
So if you're that good at football, why don't you play for one of the Premiership clubs?
That's why.
No. But
I am a football freestyler.
But what's the difference between a freestyler and a good football player?
The difference is two different sports.
Yeah, go on, huh?
Two different games of the game. Football has 2 goals, freestyle has 1 goal. Do your best trick.
Aye. Yeah. So what's your best trick down here and why Leicester Square?
Leicester Square because my friend inspired me to start creating my own shows because he's like well ahead, he's like well above me, and yeah, so.
And how long have you been creating your own shows and performing?
It hasn't been long, it's been 6 months.
Yeah. And how would you describe how things have been going so far?
Yeah, it's been going well. Like, at least I'm not sitting at home doing nothing.
Yeah, doing nothing.
Yeah.
Or robbing or stabbing or shooting.
Yeah.
Big up.
Big up.
Thanks a lot. So, as you can hear, these boys are down here. Country road. StreetMic. StreetMic. StR. Street. MIC. No, all one word. It's one word. Then live stream, another word. No.
No, yeah.
Yeah, live stream.
That's it, and I can find this.
Yeah, I'm live now. YouTube.
Walking the stream, painted on the sky. Makes the taste of moonshine to drop in my country roads. Take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama. Take me home. Thank you. Country roads. I hear voices on the west coast. Radio reminds me of far, far away. Been down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Down country road, home, down country road.
Right, Ian, I've got to ring you back later. Oh, bro.
On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my head. One smell of pizza, rising up through the air. Up ahead in the distance, close to moving light. Make me ready in my certainty. Let's stop for the night. This is still in the highway. Now I'm singing to myself, this could be heaven, this could be hell. Then she leads up a candle, show me the way. There were boys standing in the corridor, but I heard them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place. Such a lovely face. Spreading your room at the Hotel California. Any time of year, you can find it here. Somebody's got the lips we said. She got a Mercedes Benz. Got a lot of pretty, pretty boys. She calls friends. How they dance in the courtyard, sweet summer sun. Some dance to the mouth, some dance to the lips. So I couldn't have got to you. Please bring me my wine, he said. Haven't had that spirit here since 1969. Still those voices calling from far away. say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Give it up at the Hotel California. What a nice surprise. Bring it all about. Mirrors on the ceiling, big cafe lights. Haven't had that spirit since 1969. Still has less to go to stabbing the wind, stealing eyes. They just can't feel the peace. Last thing I remember, I was ready for the door. Had to find a passage back to the place I was before. Relax and nightmare, we are programmed to receive. You can check out any guitar you like, she can never leave. Thank you for listening.
So I do hope you enjoyed that. We're now making our way towards Chinatown, and after Chinatown, you will be getting a little taster of Soho. You know, that nasty place where some people like to think sex. So here's where the caricatures are all being done. So these are the people who do the caricatures here in the West End, and this has become a part of the London culture. So I'm now going to turn right to head towards Chinatown. And then on the other side, it's Soho. And I know you're nasty people, that's all you're thinking about. Soho and give me punani, one punani. So let's go and see some of the foods on offer down here. So that doesn't look like curry goat rice and peas to me. Soho is just across the road. So we're hundreds of feet away from Soho. And I know some of them dirty people in the chat know about Soho. So there's a buffet here, £15 per person eating, or £8 per box takeaway, and that's everything that's on offer. So this is all the food that's on offer down here at. So what would you like to eat yourself? Is it making you hungry, seeing all of this great Chinese food on offer? What's your favorite? So go on to the YouTube chat and tell me which foods stand out for you. So which foods are standing out for you? Which looks the most delicious? Which is mouth-watering? Which is getting you in the mood for some funkiness later on? So let's see who's got the best response. So knockout number one, go in, I'll pay it. Made in Britain, none of it because it's just chucked in the window. Dibble looks nice. Jason Carter, Indian food. This is not Indian food, this is Chinese food, man. Chinese man food there. Big up. All of that juiciness. So this is for food for making love. After eating this food, you'll tremble all night. You'll tremble all night. So as all the people come down here, they're looking around at the great food on offer. Let's go and see a couple of more locations down here at this great place, and then we can take a little breeze through Soho, Soho, Sex City, London, Soho, don't say it too loud, Soho, So someone has asked for an update on Sister Afua. If you go on Afua's channel, you can find out. So this one is the same price as the last one. But this one, this is the way where I normally go for lunch. And they all cash only. They don't take credit cards or debit cards. Cash only. If you ain't got cash, you ain't eating in here. But this is my regular eatery. So as you can see, London is a beautiful city. You want good food, There are so many places down here to get great food, and it caters for all classes. If you want expensive food, there are places to buy expensive food. If you want cheap food, there's places to get cheap food. But the great thing about this city is that it caters for everyone. And now I'm going to show you a sign that I know many of you are going to start dribbling. When you see that sign, you're going to get excited. You're going to get, ooh, and you're going to start thinking of trembling. And it begins with S and ends in O, and in the middle it's got OH. So if you look at the sign, what does it say? So can you see the sign? What does it say? And Heart Jar 63 has said Soho, crispy, something or the other. Very funny. So we're now heading our way into a famous location here in London called Soho. And there will be occasions where I will put the camera to the floor, because I will not be showing nudity, because once you do, it attracts a ban. So this is a famous location. I believe someone alleged last week that someone shot a bullet into the screen of a taxi, but it was proven that the taxi had a fault. So those of you who are regulars to Speaker's Corner will like the name of this shop. It's called Snack Bar. It's called Snack Bar. And I know some of you make puns at Speaker's Corner with that name, Snack Bar. Ooh! So I'm purposefully turning my camera because the shop I'm next to shows girls cladded in underwear, and I can't not be showing you that. So that's why I turned the camera. And there we can see Club Bar. So we're now in the heart of Soho. So all I mean, this is Waldorf Street. There's Brewer Street. There's all kind of different streets down here with all kind of different things going on down here, but I'm not going to be showing you that kind of stuff because Muttar woman won't be liking that. I'll get cussed if Muttar woman sees where I've been. And just in front of me I can see a store which says adult store. I wonder what's being sold in the original Soho adult store. And behind me is another shop, which I'm not showing you, but just use your imagination. That's why I'm putting the camera on the floor. So over there is the original adult store. And there are various other stores down here that sells all kind of different products. So I won't be continuing through Soho for any more. This is as much titillation, if that's an appropriate word to use, because there is a possibility of attracting a ban if I show you detail. So there's a spa and massage shop to my left. There's another massage place, Thai massage, right next to me. Steve Smith, a guided tour of Soho's pavements. I did warn you, I can't be showing certain things. My apologies, but you attract a ban, I did warn you. But at least I've been through here. If you want to know what Soho is like, come down here for yourself. It's just by Piccadilly Circus tube station, and I'm now going to be exiting Rupert Street, and there's a play, Juno Paycock. That's a pun. Juno Paycock in Soho. And to my right, we've got the Apollo Theatre. So this is the location. So let me show you. That's where we are. So I'm now going to be genuinely shutting down soon, because I do have to make my way to meet Mutter Woman. So we are now stopped outside of Rupert Street, and there is a theatre where lots of people are making their way, and I believe there will be a show starting at around, I'm assuming around 2 p.m, and they're just going through security where their bags are being checked. But I am going to be closing down, making my way towards whatever station it is, but it is going to be on the Elizabeth line. And Shalini will be meeting me, and she will be doing her regular preaching session. She will be preaching to the word, but she will not on this occasion be cussing the Prophet Muhammad like she normally does. And you know, that's something that's so unusual for her. But what I am going to say now is hello to a few of you on the YouTube chat who are watching. And as soon as my phone flicks over to the other side, so hello to Peter Parker, the North Ace, waved, Deborah Rabbit, Dibble said, Street might document the price list for journalistic purposes. Next time. Rob, London is lovely, like all capitals. Sean, pea and ham soup is not as bad as it sounds or looks, but it's really boring. Graham, David Cooper, Jason Carter, La Torres Viva. Rob said walk up Compton Street. Heartjack 63, pay for COC, yep. Noted. Mark. Ainsley once went for a job interview as a porn star, but he didn't get it for coming half an hour too early. For arriving half an hour too early. King 77 703, you terrible person. Peter Parker. Go to the eye of a begun bar. Never take the knee, Paisley Harriet. Ace 99, anyhow, get the or whatever. Deborah Rabet, thanks, StreetMic. So, good afternoon. Hey, Dibble. So, like I said, I'm now going to be shutting down now, heading down towards an interesting location. You will understand when I get there why I haven't disclosed where it is going to be. But you will see two people. You will see a Mutar woman or Shadali, and you will see another attendee from Speaker's Corner who is very well known. So you will see another attendee from Speaker's Corner who is very well known, and you will also see Mutar woman Shalini. So all I can say is thank you very much for watching. My name is Wendell Daniel from StreetMic live stream, and we did start off today down at Parliament where around 11:30 where Sir Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, was being driven into the House for a Prime Minister's question. And that normally happens around 11:30 to 11:40. So as soon as I went live, the outriders drove past. So all you have to do is go back to the start of this live stream and you will see me literally feet away from Sir Keir Starmer as he was being driven into the House to stand at the dispatch box for Prime Minister's questions. And, you know, it has been an interesting day, but it will be. All I'm doing with Mutar woman Shalini is half an hour at a secret location. I'm looking forward to it, and also someone else, but all will be revealed around the 3 p.m. time. But Mutar woman is never on time. She's always bloody late. I have to be somewhere else later on, and I told her 3 o'clock, 3:30 I'm gone, half an hour only. So all I can say, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for watching StreetMic live stream. We have been doing it via GoPro today, which is unusual for me. This is the third time we've been doing so. So thanks a lot, love you lots, and bye-bye. So we see you at 3 p.m. with Shalini, Mutar woman, and also a special guest from Speaker's Corner. So thank you for watching and goodbye. See, I've got to go on my app now. I've got to go on my app and I've got to press so that's the app, and I've got to press that button there, and when I press that button there, everything stops. So 10, 9, see that button there, 8, 7, 6, 5,